How to make a Southwest omelet with bacon. To get started, you will need a nonstick skillet, a spatula, a whisk, a fork, and a bowl. Your ingredients will be 3 whole eggs, diced onions, diced bell peppers, bacon bits, shredded cheese, salt and pepper, and butter. You will begin by cracking 3 whole eggs into your bowl, and with either your whisk or your fork, begin to break up the eggs and get them nice and well mixed. You're going to want to do this for at least a minute or two, and the more that you can get your eggs nice and combined, the fluffier your omelet will be. In a preheated skillet that's not too hot, you want to get it warm but not scorching hot, so you want maybe like a medium-low flame to get started. You will begin by putting your butter down and letting that begin to gently melt, and then followed by your ingredients. So here I have placed my butter, I've placed my onions, I'm putting in my bell peppers, and here you can do whatever you'd like. So if you want more bell peppers, you want onions, if you want to change your veggies, you want to add spinach, you want to not have meat in it, you just would not put the bacon, and you can substitute veggie sausage or regular sausage. And then I also put salt and pepper over everything to taste. And then at this time, you're going to let your veggies saute just a few minutes to let them begin to start to cook. And you're going to let this go just for a couple of minutes. I mean, this really is up to you as well, depending on how, if you want a crunch in your vegetable or you want them a little bit softer. And there you go. With our well-beaten egg, we're ready to go ahead and put the egg mixture into our pan. And I like to do this a little bit slowly, going all the way around the pan. Nice and slow, and you can see that our pan is not overly hot, because if it was, it'd be bubbling like crazy and the bottom would be getting cooked too fast before the top. And it's just better to take your time, and unless you like a really dark egg. But anyways, you can start to see here it's starting to cook around the edges, and with omelets your edges will cook a lot quicker. So with your heat-proof spatula, you're going to work around the edges and push your cooked parts into the center, and with the liquid part of the egg, it will kind of go out into the outer part, and basically we're using the pan because eggs cook at a really low temperature, so just simply the heat from the pan is going to begin to sort of cook the eggs, and so it's working the outer part first, and then it's going to work its way through the inside. So here I like to swirl the pan, and you can see just by that one swirl it's already ready to we can already go ahead and push in the cooked parts. And so basically the object here is we want to not cook the bottom of the omelet, which is the closest to the flame. We don't want to overly cook that too quickly without the top part not being cooked, so you can still see that there's quite a bit of liquid. So what I do is take the spatula, and as the omelet cooks, whatever part that's not cooked, you're just going to let it run under the omelet. So you can use your spatula, lift it up, let the egg run under it, and as it does, it will begin to cook. And then any parts liquidy, you can see the glossiness. You can kind of like pay attention and see, what the cooked part of the egg looks like versus the non-cooked. And basically, you're going to want to continue to do this until you see no glossy on the top of your omelet. Now, if you want to make a frittata, you can go ahead and basically at this point put your cheese on top and put it into, as long as your whole pan can go into the oven, you can put it right into the oven and let it finish cooking that way. And you really don't need to use a spatula to move things around or anything. You'll just basically cook it until it's set. And you probably want to go in like at 325 degrees. So here I'm putting my cheese. Our omelet is nice and cooked. All the shininess is gone. And then I like to let the cheese sit here for a second so that it has a little moment to melt. And I can let you know that, if you want to have an egg white omelet, you're basically going to do the same thing, but just using egg whites. Um, and then, this really is how to make an omelet. So you can get as creative as you want with this omelet and put as many different toppings and cheeses and meats or veggie meats or whatever you'd like. So now that our omelet is done and our cheese is super nice and melted, we're going to use our spatula, and this is why we want to use a nonstick skillet to help us get the omelet out. And then I use a spatula to put in the center and fold it over. There you have it, a Southwestern omelet with bacon. Super, super yummy. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you have the most fun making your own omelets.